Today we're going to take a look at the rest of the John Madden playbook scheme that I promised you guys when I updated that deadly motion stick and nod play a few days back. Plus the QB rollout play that is also in only a couple legendary playbooks and is very effective. So with those two plays, we're already off to a great start. Now let's add them to get a full game scheme going. Also, if you haven't seen those plays yet, just check the description for the link so you can watch them and get caught up, because those two plays are essential to this entire scheme. So first, let's continue with the formation near close twins and the play post drag, which as you can see has a deadly halfback route that must be accounted for. This is my first read. We can throw it quick against man coverage before the defender gets in position, or against the blitz for a big gain. Now, against zone, we can still throw it quick at times, but this is when I like to wait a little bit and throw it on the second or third level. Once I read zone and I haven't thrown it quickly, my next decision is how does it look deep? If I see a deep defender, then I'm going to try to fit it in on the second level between the deep defender and the linebacker or the cornerback that's playing down low. If that's not an option, then I'm just going to hit another route, in which case, if I waited too long to make a decision, is usually X on the drag. Now obviously, I'm not just completely staring down the halfback the entire time. If I don't hit the halfback immediately, which I actually do quite often because it's open a lot, I'm going to be looking at B over the middle, then A, and then X is my bailout. If all fails, I'm going to take off with my quarterback. And speaking of my quarterback, the Raiders are an excellent choice for this scheme because Pryor is amazing in the game with killer speed, but also because in an entirely under center offense with a fullback, Marcel Reese is the best in the game. Read number 2 is B on the post route, which is pretty much 100% against zone coverage. Generally, I'm just throwing a bullet pass with no pass lead. Although sometimes, if it does take him a little bit longer to get open and he starts cutting across midfield more, I'm going to throw a bullet pass with pass lead to the left. This is just going to allow me to keep it away from the safety over top, from coming down and jumping the route and possibly making a play on the ball. Now we're always going to want to click onto the wide receiver here because as you can see, his feet always leave the ground for a jump animation. And while this can take away from more yards after the catch sometimes, it ensures that it's going to be us coming down with the ball. And it really helps for those times where we make a bad read or we're just late to throw the ball. Jumping is always a great way to shield defenders, so make sure you get your tallest, fastest receiver in this spot. I really like this route a lot. Now, in case you didn't know already, in routes are deadly. They kill zone coverage, and they still do really well against man coverage as well. This is going to be our third read, and it's a great combination with the post route, especially with a user defender in that area. He's not going to be able to cover both, and it's also really easy for us to read both routes at once. And finally for this play, the drag route. There's really not much to say here. You know, drags just dominate. As you saw right there, I made a really bad read, and the drag was there to bail me out, and I picked up the first down on 3rd and long. So you can throw drags early or late, and that's why they're great. Woo! The play flanker drive is a formation audible that we can get to if we come out in a different play in this scheme. This also has that very effective halfback wheel route, which is yet another reason to use the Raiders with this scheme. 6'2" Darren McFadden, user catches in traffic, plus he's got all that speed. Now this play isn't as good as post drag, but I really do love X on the corner route against man coverage with a tall tight end for a lob pass. Either the tight end is going to completely burn his man and be wide open, or when it's one-on-one, we can click on and be the only one with a chance to come down with the ball. No 6-foot corner or safety is going to get high enough to pick this. So worst case scenario, it's an incomplete pass. The in route is great, and of course the drag. I like this because if our opponent reads this as being the play with the nice halfback route, the change in routes are going to confuse him, weakening his user ability. The last play we're going to use from this formation is a play called Texas. I love throwing lobs and bullet passes to wide receivers on corner routes from tight and jumbo formations. You've seen me do that all year long, even going back to NCAA. They just obliterate man coverage a high percentage of the time. And even in the event that they don't, I still like a bullet pass with pass lead down into the sideline, click on, and make a catch underneath the defender. Now against zone, it's a little more tricky, but still a very good option. We're just going to read the coverage. We want high zone coverage with no defender underneath. And an adjustment that you can make that you don't see here is just by putting the halfback angle route on a flat instead. This is going to pull down zone defenders, making it easier for them to get open. But of course, if we do that, we're going to lose out on the effective angle route out of the backfield. But still a good option to get that B receiver open. Against zone coverage, I'm going to take a very quick look at B, and if I don't see anything juicy, I'm immediately going to look at A on the post route over the middle. We've got to be quick with this one, though. We generally want this to be completed directly in the middle of the field, basically over our center no matter what hash mark we're on. If we wait too long against zone, the chances are we're going to be in trouble. Now, if he's covered, then we have the halfback angle right in our line of sight underneath, which is also a great option if our opponent is using the post route. Here, we want to pass lead down and to the sideline anytime we're throwing to the X receiver. Click on and make the catch. And finally, the angle route out of the backfield is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so that is it for near close twins. You've now got a total of 4 passing plays from this formation, if you include the link in the description for the deadly motion stick and nod play. Now before I get to the next key formation, I'm going to show you guys a couple other plays that I like to mix in. This run play that you're looking at now is Power O. It's a great run play from the formation far right twins. I never come out in this play, but it's a great run play that we can access when we come out in near close twins formation, as well as the far right flipped formation. Now, in an effort to keep these videos shorter, I actually decided to make this a 2-part scheme this time around. There's going to be a link in the description to that second part, but here we're looking at the play Halfback Sweep out of Split Pro. It's a really nice run play that goes well with the QB rollout play that I showed you guys early in the year. And again, there's going to be a link in the description for both of those videos I showed earlier in the year from this playbook, so make sure that you check them out. Tight end corner is a play that I love to go to against man coverage from the jumbo formation. Regardless of speed, I want my tallest, best catch in traffic tight end at the spot. Sometimes you're going to run into guys that play very frustrating man defense. So, lobbing a pass to our tallest tight end will again either result in him burning the defender and being wide open, or if our annoying opponent is playing that annoying man coverage defense, we can at least lob it up and be the only ones with the opportunity to come down with the ball one-on-one.